Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Noble Woods, here with your 10:30 reversal-ish quick check-in. See how the market is doing. See what the market is doing. If the market is doing anything. I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes to log on. I'm broadcasting in several different platforms all at once. Feel free if you are watching live to type in a quick little comment. You can let me know where you are, where you watching this from. You in any trades right now? What you in? Let me know. I'll pull up a few charts. Have some fun for a second. Um, so let me explain 1030 reversal, the concept. Something I learned years ago, almost like literally 10, 11 years ago when I first started day trading. Um, the market, as you know, trends and momentum are literally controlled by volume. So if everybody's buying, all right, and we get a more than average volume, then we have volatility. All right. So think of volume as just people are buying. I want some Apple. Oh, you want some Apple too? Yeah, I'll take some Apple too. And you got a ton of people for whatever reason. Good earnings. Apple's earnings are coming up. Actually, when is Apple's earnings? Tomorrow? What's today? Wednesday? Or is it today at the close? Today or tomorrow? I forget. But I know it's this week. I think it's today. It might be tomorrow though. Anyway. Um, so volume and volatility are what create momentum and trends. There's a little mantra I heard when I first started trading. You're going to hear it today. You're going to hear it 20 years from now. The trend is your friend. It's cute, but it's real. The trend is your friend. It means if you're going with momentum, if you're buying when the big institutions are buying, when the small retail folks are buying, if you're going the right direction for the right reason, you're putting the probability of making money pretty much behind you, right? In a very simplistic sort of form. The other mantra you're gonna hear for years from now, and when you first started, and when I first started, is well, there's a couple actually, but which one was I about to go to? Not the 1030 reversal concept. Oh, buy low, sell high. That's the mantra. Buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. The market is low right now. It's actually hard to buy low though, because in the short term, buying low means you're buying when things temporarily in the moment are coming down, they look bad. Now, I'll say this though. Here's the funny thing. If we were thinking about like going to whatever your favorite store is of buying things, if you walked in Foot Locker, Gucci, I'm here in Atlanta. So what malls are here in Atlanta? Phipps Plaza, Lenox Mall, Cumberland, wherever you shop, and prices were coming down, they were lower, you would get excited. We tend to do the opposite with stocks. When things are coming down, right? We get nervous, we get scared, we get fearful. Prices coming down, just it shakes the whole world, especially newbies. Shoot, especially even people who have been doing this a while, right? If you're not emotionally disciplined and if you don't understand these cycles, right? So the market, I don't let me actually pull it up. I'm gonna pull up some charts. My thinkorswim has been acting crazy. And I think I figured out that it's not my computer or thinkorswim. Give me a second to pull it up real quick. I call thinkorswim. TD Ameritrade is the brokerage I use. If you ever have any issues with them, please call them. Those guys are so nice. I can't lie. They're like the nicest. They'll talk to you for like 2 hours about anything. They're literally just waiting for somebody to call and ask some questions. So love the platform. It's one of the best out. Has some of the best technology. You can back test. You can trade options, futures, foreign exchange. You can get level 1, 2, 3 is multiple different tiers. You pretty much can trade anything that moves. All right. So shout out to them. And if somebody's watching, at some point I need a sponsorship from y'all. because I've been rocking with y'all and supporting for a long time, but also trading on the platform because it is one of the best out. So, what I was saying though, and hopefully, I won't start to get this little glitching freeze. If you start to get this little glitch, let me know. But real quick, I got some people on. Where you guys watching from? Type in the comments. This is interactive. You can ask questions if you want. I'm not gonna do this. I didn't really plan to do this long. I actually wanted to test scheduling these. There we go. That's that first little freeze. Yeah. And see that little freeze happened right when I turned, right when I logged in to Thinkorswim. Mm, Gotta figure this out because that's a major issue. Yeah, it's doing it even more now, which is about to piss me off. This is why tech people are so important. This is why tech folks are so important. Let me detach this real quick. What do I want to look at? I think. Uh-oh. No, I don't want to take a look at that. I actually want to take a look at. Let me get it up. And let me pull that over here. Wow. Ooh, this thing is freezing really bad. Oh, Charles Holland. So when I said this is interactive, I mean it was interactive. This is my guy Charles Holland. What's up? Shout out to Charles. What's going on, bro? He said that's what I do for a living, systems admin. Man, we might need to. I might need to pay you to do some systems admin over here. I don't know what's going on. It's crazy. I called Thinkorswim. They were like, "Yeah, everything's looks good on our side, but you got some real bad ping." He started talking some technical lingo I didn't know. He basically, I guess, my signal bouncing back from here to Chicago to their servers is like slow. There's some sort of delay. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I just log in and trade and do my thing and go live for the people. That's all I want to do. Yeah, this is incredibly frustrating right now. Hmm. I mean, we're talking about literally like every 5-10 seconds. Okay. So let me do this. Workaround. I'll be smarter than the technology. I'll be smarter than the technology. I'm gonna go to the 15 minute. I'm gonna go to today. Yeah, it sucks. It really does. This almost don't even make sense. It's doing it so bad. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull up a 5-minute chart. I'm gonna show you guys today, and let's talk about. I'm gonna go to the ES, which is yeah. Jeez. I will go to the ES, which is the S&P. Wow. Move all instruments. Yep. And I'll just take a picture of this so I can kind of talk through it. How about that? Quick, easy fix. Let me get rid of Thinkorswim. Okay. Jeez, I had to do all of that. Good lord. Okay, so I cut Thinkorswim off. So let me pull this file up real quick and see. This should work. This should work. Ah, I know what I got to do. Some quick troubleshooting. So clearly, I need to figure out what's going on with this. Every time I pop up Thinkorswim and I'm live, it's terrible. It's a new problem, which is a huge problem. Y'all know this is what I love doing, going live and where I can show you the charts, right? So pretty problematic, but I got a little workaround. Give me 1 second here. I want to show you this 1030 reversal and kind of walk through the concept. All right. That was my whole point for the day. I know a lot of people are trying to day trade. It's incredibly tough. It's one of the hardest things you'll do. So many so many people get into trading and they run the day trading not knowing why it's so difficult. Let's see. So this is number 3. Okay, so I guess that's all I need. Actually, let me do this. Okay, here we go. We're almost ready. And 10, 30. Okay, so that should have worked. Should have worked. Should have worked. Let me pull it up. And have it almost. Somebody said Mercury retrograde. How you say that? Cassine? Somebody said the option market volume was so mixed on so many trades. I just sat on my hands today, and I'll see what happens later. We'll see what happens later on. Yeah, market's a little stuck, honestly. So, sheesh, it took all that time just to get to this. Goodness, I can't tell y'all how frustrating it is when my tools ain't working. So, Charles, for real, if you still watching, man, we might need to do a little virtual something. Maybe you can figure this out because it's not think or swim, and I have no idea, why the pings from my connection to their servers would be, and once again, dude started giving me some deep, detailed technical stuff. I didn't know what the heck he was talking about. And I have the business, I got like the business fastest internet I can have. So I don't know. Anyway, okay. So this is today on the ES. The ES is the S&P 500. 500 of the biggest, best companies in the world. Those 500 companies represent 85% of the entire market cap of the stock market here domestically. All right, so not the world, not the global market cap. And market cap is just let me show you. It's a company's total value, and it's not perfectly their value, right? Because it doesn't include like how much debt they have, right? So it's not everything. If we want to be really technical, if I want to use this MBA, get my MBA on, it's not a perfect number because it has nothing to do with some of the outstanding debt and a few other things that you need to factor in when you're trying to get the total value. But if we take the number of shares, multiply that by the stock's price, then you get a idea of its total value. It's called market cap, right? So S&P 500, 85% of those 500 companies represent 85% of the stock market. So you messing with the S&P, that's why everything's correlated. S&P is up, everything's up. Everything's up. S&P's down, getting trashed, everything's coming down. Because it's the biggest, best companies, right? When I teach it to my kids, I tell them, it's like the all-star team, right? If all the all-stars in the NBA or any league, any sport, one season, all the all-stars caught the flu, COVID, got sick, it's going to be a bad year because we don't have any all-stars. You got all these, you got all the rookies trying to become all-stars, right? So same concept. As a day trader, I think you need to know these cycles, right? The first 15 minutes, if you're not skilled, disciplined, know exactly what to do, why to do it, the first 15 minutes will burn you, burn you, burn you. Ooh, it'll get you. Now it's doable. I think you should be able to, if we're talking about mastering the craft, and you should be able to if you want to, try to be one of the 2, 3, 5% that are actually profitable as a day trader, right? Which is incredibly challenging. I'm not gonna lie. I want to keep saying that all this year. I want to deter more people from day trading. Swing trading makes a lot of sense. It's holding something overnight, swinging it, holding it overnight, holding for the next week, next couple weeks, next couple months, right? The more time you give it, the less time you got to be super fast, right? So that first 15 minutes is tough. Why? Because the market is generally trying to establish some direction. We could be down all night. First 15 minutes, we shoot straight up, right? Some days, like yesterday, first 15 minutes, we shot up, we came down, we shot up, we came down. Market really wasn't going anywhere, right? It's choppy, we're ranging. Had this big ugly hammer candle from I believe Monday. The market gap down, we dropped, and by the end of the day, we made this crazy V pattern, which I love. Market rally back at the end of the day. That got a lot of bulls excited. Should I buy? But the market still has not gotten higher. Actually, let me check real quick because I had to turn my thinkers from off. I'm gonna check on my phone. I don't think we got back above that hammer yet. Let me see. Are we? Oh, I got an alert right there. Let me get rid of this alert. Nope. So looks like that high was on Nasdaq 350. Let's just say 350, 354. 354. Today's high was 353.83. Right. So you can't see it here. I should have did a quick capture of that. But the market came down really hard, 7 days in a row. All right, go to my YouTube channel if you want to see how you could have got in front of that move. Everything's a pattern, right? You really can. I'm telling y'all. It's not like a perfect science. I can't say exactly what's going to happen tomorrow, the next day. But if you know these cycles and how trends work, all the market can do is go into an uptrend, right? At some point, there's a signal. Those uptrends, every uptrend, when buying, momentum, volatility happens, there's going to be a little small signal. You can use a couple different indicators to kind of see it, but every pattern has the same fundamental elements, right? So we go from uptrend, you get the little reversal signal, price starts to come down, you get more bulls are getting out, more bears getting in. Then that becomes a full flesh downtrend. Bears are in control. More people are selling than buying. At some point, that move ends. The bears get out. Bulls start to get back in. We reverse and we slowly go back up. Then that becomes a strong trend. Then it becomes an incredibly strong trend as people get on later. Then we reverse and we just keep doing the same. Everything really is the same thing. All right. So going back to day trading is tough. Why? Because you have more directional trend changes and you also have more fakes. Apple, Microsoft, S&P, everything's been bullish for like 10, 12 years. All right, so think about that. Microsoft, for example, how long has it been bullish? Roughly since we came out of the recession. It's literally been bullish for 12 years straight. But if I flip to a week chart and say, well, how, has it been bullish and bearish? Yeah, you can find some little bearish periods. If I go to a day, yeah, you definitely can find some day trends where the day trend was down. We go to this 15-minute, 5-minute, 1 minute. Oh, there's just more trend changes. So you literally, the smaller, the faster the time frame you're trying to make money, it's going to be tougher because what's fundamentally happening is you have to be able to recognize when a trend is changing or reversing or getting strong or getting weaker and know when to get in and when to get out even faster, exponentially faster. The long-term stuff is easy because you don't have to worry about 5, 6 different directional changes and fakes all thrown it. You don't have to really worry about that as much at all, right? It's a fact. So today we had a good old 10:30 reversal. What happens at 10:30? First 15 minutes, the market is trying to establish direction, right? First 15. If you don't know anything, sit out the first 15. It's okay. It's okay. All right. There's another little what's the other matter of fact, I'm gonna change my hat. I gotta put on the Bulls hat, Bears hat, man. The Bears been doing their thing. What do you call it? I was trying to think of this other. What did it say? Amateurs trade the open, professionals trade the close. You'll hear that. You'll hear that too a lot, right? Is that true? No, it's not really true. Why? Because all the volume and volatility happens in the first hour. All right. So that's not happening from retail traders like me and you. We're not buying billions of shares. Right? I don't have hedge fund money. So the most volume is where the most shares are really being transacted. Right. But I get the concept. The concept is simply saying that first 15 minutes is where newbies think they can just, oh, the direction was down all last night. Let me just get in. It should drop. And shoot, it goes the other way against you. And then it'll still come back. So you were right, but you were wrong. Right. Because you got faked out, which is highly most likely to happen in the first 15 minutes. All right. So then after that first 15 minutes, you got another hour. Right. So really from 9:30 to 10:30. Usually after that first 15 minutes, we try to establish some direction. You literally, I don't care what the stock is. You can go to a 15-minute candle, go to put on your 15-minute chart, put a line above. Do this. Go back. This is how you back test stuff. You don't believe what I'm saying? Test it. You ain't gotta trust me. Just go back and test it. All right. Pull up a 15-minute chart, pull a line above and below, and just see which direction did the market go every day. You'll start to see. Usually that 15-minute bar, whichever side we break to, if we break to the upside of that candle, if we break below that candle, usually that's the direction we start to go. But I'm not saying we stay that direction all day. Right? That's just the first 15 minutes. So usually for at least that first hour, right, so you can pay attention. You could check even here today. Look at this chart. This is the ES S&P futures, right? It's where the big money lives. The futures market controls the stock market. I can't fully explain all of it to you right now in this moment because I tried to like keep myself to doing this for only like 30 minutes to make it quick. But Google it, question it, right? Don't just trust it because I'm saying it. Google it. Why does the futures market lead the stock market? When we talk about S&P, when most people talk about S&P, they're talking about the ETF. I'm talking about the S&P, the futures, right? When I think about hedging, big money where big money is hedging, they're not buying an ETF. They're buying futures contracts. And yes, you can trade options on the stock. You can also trade options on futures. Most people don't know that. Most people aren't that advanced. Most people have never taken an options trade on futures. You've taken an options trade on stock, but you can actually trade the ES as well, right? Options on the ES, because options is once again just a derivative of whatever. Options is just a cool, amazingly sound, smart way to buy a lot of anything because you don't have to put up as much money. And you're really just borrowing the shares, right? So it's built-in buying power, dirt cheap, right? Lets you play like you're rich on your way to getting rich, right? So that's the first 15 minutes. Choppy, trying to establish some direction, right? I'd say maybe in a good week, 2 days out of 5, the direction right off bat we'll be bullish. We'll just stay bullish for the first couple hours. Right off bat, it's bullish. We up. And then the next day you try to do that and you're like, oh, it's up, and then it's gonna flip. And then you're gonna be like, oh, let me get out, let me go short, and then it's gonna drop, and then it might come back up, and you're like, oh my God, what the heck is this? Right. So, I say 20 to 40% of the time, 1 to 2 days a week, you will get a strong trend, kind of right from the open. Some weeks you won't get one right at the open period, right? Especially when things are volatile like they are right now. So if you look at today, look at the first 3 bars. 9:30 is that big red bar. It's not a doji next to it, but a little bit of indecision. Right? We pushed a little lower, we pushed back up. The market was like, I don't know which way I want to go. Do I want to drop? The third candle, little small red candle, it's doji-ish. Again, it's not perfectly a doji. A doji is just a candle that's a sign of confusion. It's like the market opened here at this price. We pushed up, we pushed down, but we basically came right back to that price, same price to close. So we didn't really go anywhere. We didn't really trend. Market for that 5 minutes went up, went down, but we kind of stopped where we started. We really didn't get any momentum. We didn't trend to either direction. All right. The fourth candle, big green candle, we went back up, we broke the high. So if you think about what I said, those first 3 candles, these are the 5 oh, is this 15 minutes? Wait, which one did I? Oh no, this is 5 minutes. Yeah, it's 5 minutes. So those first 3 candles are the first 15 minutes. All right, so think about that. That low under that third candle is the bottom of that 15-minute candle. I want you to picture a 15-minute bar in your head. This is what you should be able to do the more you get advanced. You don't need to turn to the 15-minute chart to know what the 15 did. You can look at the 5 and see what the 15 did. It's just a broken down version of the 15. All right, so that first candle at the open, put a line above that high. Did we break that line? Did we get back above that high, or did we go lower than that third bar? The lowest candle at 930, 935, 940. Did we go lower than 940? No. The market popped back up. We got more momentum and we pushed for another. It looks like that high we made only, what was that? We only went up for another 15 minutes. All right, so think about that. Market starts down. We were down pre-market before the market opened. And with futures, you can trade that pre-market. Why? Because you're really trading the European sessions. You can trade at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the morning. Before the stock market opens, the future market is already open. Right? This is a global economy. You can trade at 6 p.m. It's not a lot of volume. It's going to be hard to make money because you don't really have volume. The moves are choppy. Sometimes they're there, but Japan basically opens like 6, 7 p.m. our time, and I'm speaking Eastern Standard Time. Frankfurt, Germany, Europe, they open at like 3 in the morning, which is like our early session, right? And then our market opens at 9:30. Right. So the story, price action is just a story. We talk about price action. It's a cute term. What does it actually mean? A lot of people think they know what it means. I personally think it just means, can you pull up a chart on anything, go backwards and look at candle by candle on whatever the time frame is, and really navigate and understand what bears and bulls were thinking as this story plays out? Because once again, all it is a big exchange. Bulls are winning, then bears are winning, and there's a certain point where it just doesn't make sense for bulls to keep buying. You're not gonna keep buying. We get like prices can't go infinitely high. At some point, we're gonna get so high on Bitcoin, Apple, Tesla that people who were bullish early are gonna start to get out, and that's when smart bears start to get in. And when that reversal comes and things start pulling back, it's just bears making some money, or it's smart bulls who already made some money who are now just going the other direction, making money as it comes down to getting ready to buy it again from the same places, which is why we have these support levels. Think about why prices come back to the same place. Why? Because same people are buying this. We literally even, and there's a little bit of humanity in the computers we make. I know we think we keep trying to make all this AI. We're not gonna make. I'm sorry. We're not gonna create things that literally have a soul that are just gonna be able to truly, truly, truly think for themselves. If so, they probably gonna kill us. So it is gonna pan out to be like the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? I think most robots, anything with some logic, is probably gonna conclude human beings are the problem. The earth would be super cool and peaceful if y'all weren't here messing it up. Right. So what am I saying? I say all that having some fun to say there's a little bit of us, a little bit of our DNA, our thinking inside the computers that do most of the trading. For those of you who are like, well, no, but don't most of the isn't most of the trading done like high frequency trading? Computers, yeah, it is true. It is. But they're still fundamentally doing they're still fundamentally moving with momentum to catch the trend, because you only make money. The easiest money, the money's made when you're going the same way as the market, right? That's just fundamental. So we had our as I read this story today, we started off down. Pre-market, we were down. 5 minutes right before the market opened, we popped up a little bit. Okay, cool. Okay, we popped up. That should come down. We came down. 9:35, we just kind of like, didn't get that continuation. When the first 5 minutes drops and then we just kind of freeze, it's like, I'm like, not today. Come on. Which way we going? Which way we going? We flipped direction after the third candle. We went all the way back to break the high of that first 15-minute bar. For me, that's just like, if I'm nervous, if I'm really just like, I don't, this market don't look the way, it's just not a, or I'm getting some technical signals that tell me, Joe, just relax. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. If you know me, you know what I use. TTM squeeze is one indicator I love, which is really just Bollinger Bands and Keltner channel saying, yo, we're too tight. We're so tight. We don't have the type of volatility. You shouldn't even take a trade right now. I see that little red dot. I ain't taking a trade. Real simple. Actually, here's the funny thing. When we have really low volatility, you really can't do anything with Bollinger Bands, but actually use them for how they're supposed to be used. We hit the bottom band, we're just gonna go right back up. But when we hit the top, we're gonna come right back down. So you really don't have a big win, right? You don't really have a good window to make money. It's just gonna kind of bounce up and down. So if you've ever been in a trade or looking at a stock and it's just kind of up and down, it's not really going anywhere. All right. I can look at it without even using the indicators and tell you fundamentally what's happening. Really, just we don't have enough volume to trend yet. People are confused. Earnings is coming up. The FOMC is coming out, right? The feds are gonna speak and talk about interest rates. The whole world is waiting to see. We just sitting here waiting. People ain't trading right now. People ain't trading right now. What's moving right now? I wish I could pull up some stocks, but my damn Thinkorswim is acting up. So, I did make some money today. Quick, very quick. I was a little late. I ain't gonna lie. I wanted to wait and just see how this first little 15 minutes panned out. Because we dropped down and I thought we were about to go, and I was like, no, let me just give this a second. And we pop back up. I said, yeah, I know what's about to happen. That fourth candle you're looking at, when we went back to the high, we was probably just gonna push for a little while. So in that little 15-minute period, once we broke that high is where I made some money today. I actually was trading EMD, which is the S&P mid cap 400 futures. It flows the same way as the ES. I don't know. I just got a thing with the EMD. It actually costs more. It technically is more advantageous for me to trade the ES. I just got a better relationship with the EMD. So sometimes I trade the ES, sometimes I trade the EMD. And I don't day trade every day. Let me say that too. I don't. Actually, the days I'm like, you know what? I don't need to day trade today. I don't want to. It's almost like a vacation. I have so much other. It's like the rest of my life is just, hey, what do we want to do today? I could work on this. I could work on new classes. Work on and just so. Day trading does require a lot of you. It does your mental capacity. So for those next 15 minutes, we made that high. We made that high at 10 o'clock. Let's go candle by candle, because I really want y'all to understand price action. If you can't do this and go bar by bar and articulate the story and understand what bulls and bears are both thinking, it's gonna be hard for you to do anything long term. This is it. This is the game. This is the craft of it, right? It takes time, but once again, and here's the funny thing. Let me say this too before I dive into this last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 candles that came straight down. Right. I had a class years ago at the Ron Clark Academy. Amazing, amazing middle school here in Atlanta. Just those kids are amazing. And the level of rigor that the teachers and creativity, the rigor that they put on them. Ron Clark is the I forgot his co-partner. What's her name? I'm forgetting her name. She knows I know her and love her. I can't think her name right this second. Anyway, amazing school, but it's named after Ron Clark. And I got the chance to teach there. So Limitless, my brand, what I do, I actually started with kids, middle school kids, 5th graders, 6th graders, 7th graders, a few 8th graders. And I taught them the same stuff I teach adults, right? So we were talking about price action literally 8 years ago. 5th, 6th, 7th graders talking about price action. I taught them how to read candlesticks. So here was the exercise. They had to draw 3 or 4 candles and then tell me a story about the candles, but the story could not be based on the stock market. The story had to be based on something other than outside the stock market, a metaphor. Why? Because if a big green candle goes up, regardless of whether that's grades, you can tell a story. If you tell me that's LeBron's points in a game or his average going up, you can tell me a story, right? You can make it COVID cases. Right. So candles are just numbers. Numbers can represent anything. It could be just how you felt today. You woke up, you got a personal emotional scale. Big green candle. I woke up today feeling amazing. Right. So I really, even with my kids, tried to get them to understand that this candlestick technical thing, it's really just reading, understanding prices, data. It's data analysis. That's all it really is. But it's advanced. Why? Because you have bulls and bears, two different sides to every trade, every candle. Bears want something different than what bulls want. All right. So we made the high at 10 o'clock. 10:05, we kind of froze inside that candle. Not a big thing, but just kind of inside. Matter of fact, if you go back over, look at the very top, 10 o'clock, right before 10 o'clock, I had a little small hammer inside of the 9:55 candle. A little hammer, a little red hammer. So that actually was also saying, okay, bears push down for a second. We trying to stay up to date. The market's trying to rally. And then if we get back above that little hammer, we should have pushed. We pushed. We made new highs. Simple stuff. Hammers, man, if you see a hammer, I don't care what time frame it is. You better pay attention to that hammer. All right. Even this one, which is at the high. All right. So we pushed higher, we made a new high. Then we got a small bar inside. Getting some wrestling inside. So didn't get enough volume, enough momentum to push higher. And then what happened? At 10:10, we came down. Now you got to think about it. 10:10, the low of that 10:10 candle, right? That first strong red candle. If you're looking at this chart, it's the look at the very high and then go over 1-2 bars, right? So the high, that green candle, we got the small red candle, and then we got the bigger candle, right? That's a stronger move down. When that move happened, what happens? The people who bought up at the top are now kind of losing. The people who bought inside that green candle are now losing. Why? And what I'm specifically looking at when I'm looking at doing like chart analysis, I'm just looking at specifically like, where did we close? That candle closed lower than the previous three. So technically in my head, everybody who bought the previous 15 minutes, who bought inside of those 15 minutes, now when that candle closed at that price, you're now losing. Are you going to stay in? You're going to get out. You're going to get back in. You're going to get out, right? As you can see, the next candle pushed down and then we pop back up a little bit. So you got a little small hammer right there. And that really was the candle. If we could have gotten back above that candle, we should have been able to push to the high. We pierced above it and came right back down. Bad signal. We don't have enough volume. Price probably is going to do what? Come right back down to the low. Right. And that's why this concept of 10:30 reversal, usually we get that first 15 minutes, it's a little crazy. Next, 45 might be a little smoother, tends to be smoother after we figure out which direction we want to go after that first 15-minute bar. But some days around 10:30, the market really doesn't have enough gas but to go for about an hour one direction. And then we slowly, slowly, oh, it ain't working today. And they get out. I got out of my trade. I wish I should have pulled it up so I could show you. It's right there in those top 3 candles is where I got in because it was volatile. If you know me, that was the double squeeze. It was the most volatile, bullish move of the day. Right. In my mind, it was the safest move of the day. All right. Anything after that, I don't know. We might stay up. We might flip down. I don't know. All right. And as price, as you can see, bar after bar, we slowly went lower. So you already know bulls are getting out. We get back to the low, and then once we get back to a low, then you got to ask yourself again, okay, we're at a low, but now do we have enough bears to keep pushing the market down? Because sometimes you'll have this same pattern. We'll get back to the low, and then bulls will say, nope, we're not done. And then they'll try and we'll push it right back up. Right. So your analysis has to be a lot faster to even be a halfway decent day trader. Right. And don't let me layer in indicators and then, shooting stars and engulfing bullish. I know all the little terms. I kind of keep it basic, but you can wild out. You can become a technical candlestick analysis for 10, 20 years and still not make no money. That's the sad part. So if you're new or you day trade and you ain't paying attention to what I'm saying in terms of like the warning, because it's just the safety. I think swing trading and investing are way where you're gonna really make most of your money, right? Just because of the statistics and fact that we know most day traders aren't daily making money. But it sounds so glamorous to say. I just I don't know. All right, so um, yeah. Matter of fact, let me see where the market is real quick because it's 11:15 now. So I want to see. I gotta pull this up on my phone. And Charles, if you still on, bro, let me know. Man, they didn't log me out of my Thinkorswim. Good lord. Oh, okay. Use my face. Got me right back in. Okay, so I'm just trying to look at the ES real quick to see where are we now. 5 minute, 5 minute, 5 minute. Okay. So yeah. So we actually came down. We went lower. You can't see my chart. I should update it real quick. Yeah, let me do that before we go. I want y'all to see what happened where we are now. Where we are right now, right? Let's see. Damn, I had to pull it up to do that though. Ugh. Ugh. You know what I'm gonna do? Mm, no, I changed my mind. I'm gonna just leave it. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave it for where we are right now. Cause as soon as I open Thinkorswim, it's gonna start freezing. That thing it gets on my nerves so badly. That's also a reason why this month. And it doesn't do it like every day. So some days, I'm okay, but lately it's been doing it more. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, just a quick rundown, price action, technical analysis, and once again, you should be able to do this. Here's the thing too. Imagine that these candles were weak candles. It's still the same core understanding of what's happening with price. You know what bulls are thinking. You should, over time, get a good understanding of what bears are thinking. All right. There's two specific bars here. That one specific bar that got bulls really excited. One bar that got bulls really depressed. You should be able to point out the two on this chart. Starting from the open, what was the bar that gave bulls like me confidence? It was that fourth bar. It wasn't the first one down. It definitely wasn't the second one. That was a little doji. It wasn't the third candle. The fourth bar, that bar where we went all the way back. We made a new low, but we um very strongly pushed back to the high and made a new high. That was the confidence. That was the candle. Trust me, that was the candle. That was the quick, easy money. All right. The next 15 minutes. All right. We pushed higher, a little pullback inside. Okay, that's cool. I'm cool with a little pullback candle inside. That little hammer candle, if we can get above that, we should push a little higher, go some more. Cool. Went higher. Next candle, small bar. Not too bad, not too bad. The candle that bulls hated was a candle that I hated. It's that first big red bar. Why? Because we just erased, right? We literally went right back to the high of the candle that I said we loved. All right, y'all gotta be able to see this stuff. And I know this is probably more advanced than some people are used to, but you talking to somebody who spent 10 plus years of his life doing it, right? So, you know, um, it's really basic for me now. Yeah, now thousands of hours in. Yeah, you know, but that's the journey, right? That's the journey. And yeah, and so that big red bar, that first red bar, that was the candle. If I was bearish from the jump, if I was bearish, that would have been the candle that would have had me like, yeah, let's get these bulls out of here. That was the candle. Why? Because we made a new high, and that candle closed under the last one, two, three, almost the last four candles. So that one bar erased the last 20 minutes. Think about that. If that was a month chart, I posted a chart of Netflix recently. Netflix dropped so hard in this month where we are right now. Netflix in like 2 months just erased like 22 months of gains. That's huge. So what are bulls thinking? What are bears thinking about Netflix right now? The same stuff. It's the same thing. If you can read price action, you can read it on any stock, on any time frame, on any asset. I said stock, crypto, uh, futures, foreign exchange, right? It's all price. It's all giving you a story about bulls and bears, these two opposing sides. Whichever side wins, so goes the trend. Right. Oh, and what happened? I can't show you, but the market kind of bottomed. We went a little bit lower, kind of slowly trying to get back up. Market is not back at new highs. Looking at, yeah. So in the middle of this chart right now, we're pretty much, we went a little bit lower, had a couple more, actually went lower for about 15 more minutes. And then 15, about the next half hour, we slowly have gotten right back to the middle. So think about that. We made a new low today. Then we made a new high. Then we made a new low, and now we're right back in the middle. So what's the direction? With a new low, high, low, and back in the middle, headed back to make a new high. All right. You got to be super fast to make any money. Or super fast, or yeah, I'm gonna keep it as super fast, yeah. Because these candles are still small windows, right? Still small windows. Even if you caught from the entire move down, from the top all the way down, that's only like 30, 45 minutes, right? So that's still fast, right? When you think about swing trading, investing, still fast. So let me go and pull. Where is it at? Pull this back up. So, if I gotta say this real quick, options and futures, if you're looking to get educated, which is so key, especially if we ever talk about futures. And let me say this real quick too, because I got a futures and a new options course coming up. Both are going to be 7 weeks. My futures class, I started trading futures like 10 years ago. I didn't actually develop a class for futures for the first 9 years for a reason, because I wanted to protect people. I was making 10 years ago 500 to 1,000 every other day with a really simple strategy using Bollinger Bands, which is why I always talk about Bollinger Bands, because I know them incredibly well. And I had to learn how they work and don't work. For the first like 6 months, they were working. I was like, oh, this is easy. Trading's easy. The market can't shake me. I got real cocky. European debt crisis started to happen. We got more volatility than I was used to. Bollinger Bands do not work when there's high volatility. All right. So, options, you should learn options. I'm sorry. I had a conversation with a guy the other day. We was having this whole conversation about, crypto and some, business that he got involved with. That was, this is soup. I know that look a little crazy, but that's just soup from yesterday. From last night, actually. Let me pull this back up. Y'all all in my business. But we were having a conversation, he's late 20s, I think early 30s, friend of mine. And I was just like, bro, I don't care what you're doing in life. You need to learn options. He was like, yeah, but I got my thing, I got like people have their thing, though. All right. So sometimes me, because who I am, an educator and a trader, I get the like, yeah, you want everybody to be you, but that's not gonna happen. And it's like, no, I don't want you to be no day trading, futures obsessed, give up your whole life to get into this. No, this was a part of my purpose. I want you to follow your purpose, bro. But I will say, I think out of all the things we can learn here in America, out of all the things you can learn, right? I do believe, I will say this. I think learning how to trade options is going to be one of the best financial decisions and undertakings of knowledge that you can make. Why? Because once you get it, even if it takes you a year or two, let's say you 28, it takes you till 30 to get comfortable. Do you know what it's like to be able to look at a chart and know that like you literally have the power to make exponentially higher returns, right? It's a different type of skill. I think it truly adds an extra avenue for income that just is it's going to be hard to compare it to anything else. We got all these Ponzi scheme things that pop up, and you got women on OnlyFans when that was going real hard, and then you got this thing. You're gonna have all these things that come up, but y'all, this is the market. This is what's making millionaires and billionaires, and always will. All right. So my big push to people is, I don't care who you are. If you're an adult and you spend money in this economy, yeah, I think you should become a solid investor and just make that a lifestyle. Right. And I think you should. I do. If you're over 30 and you African American, yeah, you better learn. You better learn how to trade options. Because once you get it, it's such a simple vehicle to make crazy return. And I'm not saying everything has to be crazy. I'm not even saying I'm talking about crazy. I'm just saying ability to just hop in a trade and in a few days, few weeks, few months, make 100% return, which is very, very, very normal. Very normal with options. Tell me what other thing allows you to make 100, 500, potentially even 1,000. I've had trades where I made 1,000% return. I didn't know I was gonna make 1,000. Just a ton of volatility came in, and I looked up and I'm like, oh snap, I'm up 500%. Let me relax for a second, right? That's the benefit of volatility, right? So I'm for real. I'm so serious. I'm not saying this because I teach it either. Like, I for real, for real. If I stop teaching tomorrow, I'm still going to tell you and suggest. I don't care who you are, what you do. I think it's one of the best investments in yourself that you can make, because the stock market and these companies fundamentally run the world. You talk about capitalism, you're talking about market capitalization, the value of these companies, which is based on shares and momentum and volatility. And options is just an incredibly smart way to trade like you rich without being rich. That's all it is. But nobody explains it the right way. We should have learned this. Like people, like, for real. I'm just for a second. I'm ranting. I'm done. We specifically, us as a culture, hip hop culture. I'm speaking specifically African Americans for a second, because of our history in this country. All right. I ain't gonna go there, but to talk about reparations and all the repairs, the things systemically that have happened to us that have uh affected our impact, our ability to build wealth for our families, Homestead Act, Jim Crow, slavery, like all these things that have happened. Yeah, we're here now, right? But just like how I was doing price action, everything in the past connects to the day. All right, so all I can do is be an advocate to say, yo, nobody's gonna give us whatever we feel like we're owed. That's not America. Let's be real. But you do have the ability yourself to make a decision to say, I'm going to invest my time and learn something that I know can help change my family's course. But you got to take a course. I don't care who you take one with. You ain't got to sign up with nothing with me. I don't care. But please learn it though. Please, 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 please. The more you Dr. Jawanza Kanjufu is one of my favorite authors. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. He always says, what you do most is what you do best. All right. Says what you do most is what you do best. That same friend of mine I was talking to the other day, we were talking about Bitcoin. He was like, oh, I didn't get out early enough. And I could tell when you don't really want to tell me what you made or how much you lost. I can tell the investment wasn't that great. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, bro, we keep you told me about this thing, and you was in this, and you were in that thing, you in all these, bro, just learn how to trade. And he was like, yeah, well, how much time do you think? As soon as somebody goes to like, well, how much time do you think? You're not ready. You don't really get how valuable this is. When you start asking and worrying about the time, why do I care about investing a year or two or 6 months or 6 weeks or whatever for something that I know? And maybe it's because he just doesn't know and I didn't explain it well, which is cool. Right. That's why you got friends to push you, especially men to men. I try to sharpen my friend. I mean, all of my friends. It ain't like it's only men, but men specifically. Why? Providing, leading, security. That's manhood. Right. And if we don't know nothing about these markets, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. So anyway, with that conversation with him, I was just like, bro, you need to stop tinkering around at all these things that you think are going to make you money fast. You need to understand it's going to take some time. Accept that it's going to take some time, just like getting a degree takes 3, 4, 2 years out of your life. But you're doing it as an investment to change the rest of your life. So you got people like me in your life. You won't join me in a class. You won't let me help you learn what took me years to learn in a very small amount of time. A skill that will help you be able to pull up a chart, make some analysis, place an order on your phone, and a week later, a month later, a year later, I don't even care if it's leaps. A year later, you bought some option contracts on Apple, on all these great, amazing companies that you use, and you're getting your own money back. Now you're buying the stock and you're also buying the products. You're on both sides. Welcome to capitalism. Stop being just a consumer. You making everybody else rich. That's my problem. Right? That's the thing. That's the core of it. If you're not investing, you're just, I hate to say, but you just adding to the bottom line, helping to contribute to shareholder value, because all we care about is the company making money. Are they innovating? Are they dominating? Are they coming out with a good acquisition? Right? That's all we care about as shareholders. You got to think like a business owner. You do own the business. And what do we care about? Revenue, profit. Yeah. Are people buying? And it's sad when you see people who just they got everything. They don't own shares. 45% of Americans don't own shares in any company. 45%, half of America does not own one share of anything. It's crazy. So yeah. Rant over. My guy Seymour said, how much for the course? That's a good question. I got a window right here. I can see people driving by. I'm like, who is that? I ain't that dude in the neighborhood. I'm not. But yeah, I'll tell you real quick. The futures class is more because it's a lot more detailed, and it's actually for a smaller pool of people who should technically be doing better anyway. All right, so the futures class is going to be $14.99, $1,499 for the 7 weeks, and damn, what did I settle on? Options is it's half of that, $750, $749, right, for 7 weeks. Go to limitlessclass.com. It's my website. Pop your email in right there on the front page. I don't send a ton of emails at all, but to make sure you know about new courses, you can just do that. It's gonna be pretty dope. I just finished up one. Actually, am wrapping up one because I still need to add this new final exam. Every class I've done. So let me give y'all real quick, 2 seconds, and I'm out. Options. I've done several pilot classes. I did two last year. Two in 2020, one last year, and then I'm about to do another one. Each time they get better. I'm trying to learn. I don't want to say the perfect way to teach it, but I do learn and test kind of different things. So in my head, and I got this from corporate, these are pilots. You don't just launch a product and just put something out there. No, you do a pilot. You put it out to a small sample. You lower the price. You give people a really great discount. You help some people learn. You know what I mean? And I've had tons of success. I definitely have most of the students that I've been able to reconnect and talk to, because the first two classes I did like a free 30-minute consult. Some of those people didn't do it with me, but that's cool. I did get a lot of those done. And folks who were just out here losing money, you know, they were like, bro, if I had taken your class before I got into this options thing because of COVID, I would have just saved myself so much more money because I didn't know what I was doing. With options, you got to understand the terminology. You got to understand the Greeks. You need to know what theta is. You need to know what delta is. You need to know what gamma is. You got to understand this stuff. All right. It's just like when you get into trading, it really is a business. You know what I'm saying? It's a business. It's a new skill set. It's just like getting a new degree, but I can't give you a degree, right? That's the thing. There's no formalized degree. And even financial advisors, they can't trade. Look at what a series 7, like go look, do some little research and see what the licenses allow them to do. Doesn't mean they can trade. No, and I'm not dissing financial advisors. They're a great. You need a financial advisor for sure. I think they'll only help if you know what I teach. You can kind of pair the two. They're gonna make sure your life, your insurance, your life insurances, your big long term goals, your debt management, your will and all that different stuff. They're gonna should connect you to an estate planning type lawyer. You know, there's no one financial person that does everything for you, but I know for a fact, becoming a financial advisor that has nothing to do with trading. It really doesn't. Sorry, it doesn't. Um, so I've had financial advisors in my class too. You got to learn the Greeks. You got to learn the technicals. The technicals are huge, right? You got to be able to pull up a chart, understand when and why you should buy. And then you got to have some really disciplined execution on the back end. What's your target? Where are you going to get out? Do you add more? Are you going to cut half when you make 100%? What if you have 300%, but you only bought one contract? Oh, do you take it and get out? You should have bought more, right? That's part of it. Don't buy one contract, but then a lot of people are buying what they really can't afford. So that's why you only buy one contract. So I've done literally probably last year, man, probably like 200 and some consults talking to people. I've seen every issue. It's only like 3 or 4 things that everybody's stumbling over, but they're huge issues that if you don't overcome from having a good coach, good education, and then putting it in practice, you'll make this a lot harder than what it really is. So, yeah. So anyway, if you want more information on anything I do, limitlessclass.com is the website. Yeah, so this was fun. I just wanted to once again kind of walk through 1030 reversal. And the funny thing is I actually scheduled that last night. I didn't know we was gonna actually get a 1030 reversal today, but we popped up. Let me show you. Where was it at? Right around where the reversal technically reversal happened around 10 is when we started to reverse. 10:10 is when we started to reverse and come back down. But by 10:30, the market was now at a new low after making a new high, after making a new low. Right. Once again, it's why day trading's gonna test you. It's going to test you. It will. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. I will very soon here get all of this officialized. Is that a word? It'll be more official podcast. Spotify, iTunes, all of that great stuff. Just working through and thinking through some of the scheduling, yada yada. I know I should have been had a podcast forever ago. I know, but that's actually kind of like my gift to myself before my birthday. My birthday is Valentine's Day, so stay tuned. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's just being noble. Insider Trading is the group that myself and my cousin Joe Harrison manage. We do a lot of free education inside the room. Great community, like almost 30,000 people. A lot of newbies, but a lot of experienced people. Maybe 15-20% experienced folks too. You just learn a ton by being there. It's such a good community, such good people who are all trying to do better for themselves and their family. You need that community piece. You really do. Some of the people who are always chiming in are from that community. I got Millie Block. What up, bro? Gave me the thumbs up. Somebody said, "Thank you, sir. You're more than welcome." Somebody said, "Dang, I missed it." It's okay. You can go back and watch it. And somebody said, "Will you post this?" Yeah, I will. Technically, it's being posted as I'm recording. So as soon as I hit the end broadcast and I'm done, it's out there. It's posted. It's on my YouTube automatically. It's on my personal Facebook page, my business page, our insider trading page. And please, you guys can share it too. So if you got some value from this, yeah, help support the brand, support me, share. I love doing what I do, and that's about it. Thanks for watching. I'm out. If you want information on the classes, futures or options, I got a little deal too where you can get both. Technically, you can go through both at the same time. It's going to be a lot of information, but you'll have both classes for at least a year, minimum a year, right? So that's about it. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.